Okay, hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well, and it's time for another edition of our weekly track roundup series where I give my thoughts on a bunch of tracks that have dropped over the past week or so, whether I loved them or hated them or felt somewhere in between. These are my feelings, and they're all linked down below, so you can check them out for yourselves. Also linked down below, as usual, of course, our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it if you head over there and buy some vinyl, buy some turntable stuff, get whatever. It helps us in the process, you treating yourself. Also, our Patreon page is down there too. If you want to get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process, that would be nice. That would be nice. And yeah. Our YouTube Shorts channel as well is linked down there too. We're so close to 100,000 subscribers over there. Hit it up today. Check it out. Awesome. Cool. All right, worst tracks of the week. We have a handful of those. They are as follows. Let's do it. We have a John Lennon cover from The Weeknd of the song Jealous Guy. Love that song. Great song. Terrible cover. Stiff instrumental. Pretty passionless vocal performance. Not that interesting. Next. All right. We also have a new song from the upcoming, Barbie movie soundtrack, Barbie World with Aqua. Of course, it is an interpolation of, the classic, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world with Nicki Minaj, who, was, of course, going to be on this soundtrack in one way or another, but she's doing it with Ice Spice, and yeah, it's pretty much, the Barbie girl song over a drill beat with some pretty underwhelming vocal performances from both parties, honestly. Hope this would go harder. Hoped it would be more interesting, but I think it kind of fell flat on its face. But hey, it's got some star power. It's got some Barbie soundtrack connection credibility. That will most likely be enough. That and the Aqua interpolation to keep it afloat for a while, even if the performance and everything else about it is kind of mid. Moving on from there, Kelly Clarkson, new record, song, Rock Hudson. Pretty much sounds like some bad Wine Mom rock. It's not good. Moving on. We also have a new one from Gwen Stefani. True Babe is the title of the track. Who is doing Gwen's production now? Certainly not anyone interesting. I'll say that. Bland track. Forgettable. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Greta Van Fleet. Is the name of the track. While I did like some of the drums and riffs on this cut, the more I listened to it, the more I could not stand the vocals at all, especially the bits, the tuneless screaming sections just were falling flat for me and were really obnoxious to listen to. And just don't really want to have anything to do with it, unfortunately. And we have a new one from Dominic Fike to Mama's Boy. Previously, I have struggled to really get into Dominic Fike's music and, just see what all the hubbub's about. That is especially the case on this new cut over here. It's stiff. It is kind of obnoxious. It feels like a Talking Head song, all the awkwardness of an old Talking Head song, but without any of, the fun or the memorable tunage that you would usually get out of something, from that band. Not really feeling this one, unfortunately. Again, Mama's Boy is the title. And we have a new one from the Coi Leray record with David Guetta, where they are pretty much interpolating, pump up the jam, pump it up, and, with the beat and everything, but just kind of giving us a worse version. I don't know why we're just getting all of these lazy interpolations now that don't even result in, songs that are as good as what they're borrowing from, much less a superior, much less a better track. I feel like we're just always left off with a much worse version, unfortunately. All right, let's move on to the tracks I was kind of meh on, not crazy about, but, I thought you might enjoy them more than me. They are as follows. We have a couple of new tracks from Stormzy. And, the songs are very hype and celebratory and lots of braggadocious bars and strong beats. Names of the tracks, Longevity Flow and Toxic Trait. I feel like he's kind of, picking up the rap mic once again, considering how, ballad-like and low-key and, very subtle and understated the last record was. However, and kind of going back to this lane, I feel like he's hit us with something that is just a little bland and just doesn't really have the sharpness or the wit and kind of hunger and passion of his older stuff. Again, not a bad thing to hear him in a celebratory mode, but I feel like that has kind of softened his pen game a little bit, and he just doesn't really have as much to write about, frankly. So these two tracks I just thought were okay. We have a new track from the Smile, lengthy one. The Smile being Radiohead with extra steps, if you guys remember. And, first half kind of underwhelming, chord progression not that great. It does come to a strong conclusion, though I just don't think the setup to that conclusion is the most interesting thing the band has put out, but still looking forward to a new album cycle from them, of course. We also have a new one over here. From none other, if I can remember, Slowdive. Kisses is the title of the track. A legendary shoegaze band over here. Didn't really care for their comeback album that dropped a few years ago. A lot of people hated my take on that, and I'm not feeling that much stronger about this new track over here. It's not terrible, and certainly has a cleaner and more dynamic mix than many of the tracks off that last record, but I wasn't catching a lot of textures sonically that were really doing too much for me. Easygoing vocals, though. Very intoxicating, very chill, I suppose, if that's exactly what you're looking for. We also next have a brand new track from Portugal The Man. I just don't really think this is one of their stronger songs or singles over here. I mean, a listenable song, but the kind of dreamy nostalgia rock thing that they're going for on this track on Grim Generation is not all that gripping. And, I think they've done better. I think they've made bolder music. I'll say that. Moving on from there, new one from Kvelertak, a very wordy and verbose one, which I think does kind of kneecap the intensity and the fun of the track a little bit, though it does kind of come through with a strong ending. I will say that. Still looking forward to their new record, of course. We have a new one from Petras over here, which I'm maybe planning on reviewing this new record, so I'm not going to kind of go at length on this song over here. King of Hearts is the title. I guess I'll say it's heavy on the Gaga influence. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Jeff Rosenstock, which is kind of a singer-songwriter pop punk blend. It's not bad. I just think he's made stuff before that had more bite, instrumentally, but also emotionally too. I just feel like this one is, playing a little mild as far as the feels go. We also have a new one from Hayden Pettigo. We have some beautiful instrumental guitar music over here, bit of a country twist. It's lovely, it's serene, it's easy on the ears. Not exactly gripping me per se, but still, I sort of get the beautiful, pristine appeal that it has for sure. A Signal of Hope is the title of the track. Moving on from there, we have a new track from The Breeders, like an unreleased cut that is coming out with this new kind of 30th anniversary edition celebration of Last Splash. And it's not a bad cut. It's kind of a slacker, indie, rocky, riffs and drums are really loose. The vocals are solid. Not blowing me away, but certainly if you're a Breeders fan, you're going to want to hear it. If you're a big 90s rock fan, you're going to want to hear it. We have a new one from Burna Boy over here, 21 Savage in the mix too. I was just talking about kind of this trend of interpolating popular songs, older songs. This track is throwing it back to a track that I remember when I was a kid, a Brandy track. And I don't think the vibes are off. It's not bad. Burna Boy's vocals are, deep and soulful enough to carry the song, and 21 Savage's feature is pretty decent as well. But am I loving it? Am I blown away by it? No, not necessarily. Yeah. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Baroness, where I think the mix could really kind of use some work. The guitars and drums feel a little blobby, I guess I'll say. The vocals come off a little buried too. There's not a whole lot of bite to it, despite this band being, one of the more formidable metal acts out there, going for well over 10 years at this point. I just don't really get what is going on here with this track, Last Word. Moving on from there, best tracks of the week. We have a handful of those, actually quite a few of those, actually. Let's get it going. We have a new one from Young Thug over here. New record out now. Not going to talk about this one too much because I am reviewing the album very soon. Record is a bit of a mixed bag, but you'll find out why when I talk about it at length. This new one over here featuring Drake. There's a couple Drake tracks on the record, but I feel like this one was handily the best one in terms of flows, in terms of chemistry, in terms of the instrumental as well. It's this cut over here, Oh You Went, liking this one quite a bit. We also have a new track over here, or at least a track I want to push you guys toward, from a band by the name of Sprain. Man Proposes, God Disposes. It is very chaotic, wordy noise rock with a great recording on it, very expressive as well. Really digging on this, hoping to review this at some point very soon. Also digging on this new track from Spiritual Cramp, who I think are one of the more promising punk-leaning bands out there currently. Nah, That Ain't It is the title of the cut. Cool music video attached to it too. We have a something from a band that's really kind of bringing back that old school New York beat down hardcore sound, and they're doing it with a lot of passion, some good riffs, a great recording. Pain of Truth is the group. Actin' Up is the name of the track. It's a fiery one. It's a fiery one. I guarantee you will be moshing to this one by yourself, wherever the fuck you are when you play this thing. All right, moving on from there, Jungle, new one from them, with Channel Trace in the mix. Considering their love of dance music, I feel like that is a match made in heaven, and with the pristine mix and the endless grooves on this cut over here, yeah, I feel like that promise made has been a promise kept with, these acts crossing over on this one. Good vibes, good energy, good grooves. The name of the track, if I can find it with my eyes, which I'm very bad at, I've Been in Love is the title of this one. Moving on from there, Doomsday. Wow, holy crap, holy crap. Brand new track, also music video, Lyrical Lemonade music video attached to this one. Cordae with Juice WRLD. And look, we've heard a lot of posthumous Juice WRLD material for a while now, but this is different, man. This is different. And, they're doing it over an old Eminem beat from the Slim Shady LP. And, man, the bars are sick for the most part across the track. The lyrical chemistry is there between Cordae and Juice. And the music video is absolutely blowing my mind. I don't even want to try to think about how this was done, if it was somehow shot or created without Juice WRLD being in existence. It's insane. It's insane. I'll say that. It's insane. One of the most insane things I've seen this year. We also have a new one over here from J-Rock. J-Rock is back in the mix. Brand new track. Hopefully new album cycle on the way. This track over here is short. I think lyrically I would have wanted a little bit more from J-Rock, considering, it's been a while since he's put out a hot new cut. But Eastside featuring Banx is a banger. Great instrumentally, good flows, hype energy from J-Rock. Really excited to hear something from him soon, album-wise, tape-wise, something, if what he's going to be bringing to the table is on the level of this. We also have a new one from Geese. I'm not going to go at length on this one because I am planning on reviewing this one soon too. I See Myself is the title of the track. Loving this. Also loving this new kind of resurfaced Betty Davis track, Crashin from Passion. Light in the Attic Records is going to be doing kind of a reissue series with her work, and this first bit over here that we are getting a taste of is fiery, funky, and very sexual and very romantic and very fun. Give it a listen. It's crazy. It's off the rails, just like every great Betty Davis track is. Next, we have a new one from Rae Jepsen, Shy Boy. Some pop and synth funk vibes on this one with a very breathy and sweet chorus. Digging on this one too. Rae comes through with another bop. Also enjoying this new one from Blonde Redhead. Some lovely, 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 well put together dream pop on this cut over here. Just absolutely pillowy and gorgeous on the ears. The title of this one, Melody Experiment. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Aphex Twin, none other than Richard D. James. He has a new EP on the way. Our first taste of it over here is Blackbox Life Recorder 21F. And, it's got multiple different breakbeat phases and some kind of hypnotic synth passages and what sounds like some, kind of vocal synthesis or something in the mix as well, which is a pretty nice touch. And I'm liking it. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. It's a nice, groovy, serene, kind of rhythmic vibe. Liking it. Respect to Richard for coming through, putting out some new material. And lastly, Animal Collective has come through with a new track titled Defeat. It is a track that is over 20 minutes long, And miraculously, I'm kind of messing with it, and it's pretty good. I feel like it's got the eccentricity and the color of so many Animal Collective classics, but it's super lengthy and meditative and epic, and comes to some pretty grand and intriguing highs. I feel like the track has, kind of cool progressions and a bit of a roller coaster effect to it, which I like and appreciate. And yeah, I think it's really cool that the band would come through with something this long and bold and daring after so many years as a group. And, it's interesting to see them still pushing the envelope a little bit in their own way and throwing us some left hooks, giving us some surprises. So cool. Awesome. Great. That's going to be it for the weekly track roundup, everybody. You guys are the best. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this. Mwah. Love you. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.